Now, flight school has traditionally been the takeoff point for entering our national airspace system. And unfortunately, this is not the case for an increasing number of new operators in the national airspace system. And of course, you know who they are. Those are the users that are flying unmanned aircraft. The vast majorities of these users have no concept of the existence of a national airspace system, how to safely operate within it, and this is becoming an ever-increasing safety problem for all of us. Despite this, I do believe that most incidents are a result of ignorance rather than malice. Although the present regulations state that drones should not be flown within 5 miles of an airport, we're seeing reports of UAS on short final to major airports, or at altitudes of thousands of feet, which is far higher than the 400 feet that we currently allow. Many UAS operators may be unaware of how common and close airports can be. For example, apart from the airport we find ourselves at here today, there are 11 other airstrips scattered about Hays County. 2 weeks ago, Secretary Fox and I announced that the FAA is going to require operators to register their unmanned aircraft. I believe that registration will instill a sense of accountability and a sense of responsibility to the operator, but it also provides us an important opportunity. It's an opportunity to educate operators about airspace rules so that they can use their unmanned aircraft safely. And it will be a help in enabling us to identify and to take enforcement actions against people who don't obey the rules and operate safely. At the same time, we are finalizing our rulemaking for small unmanned aircraft, those that are under 55 pounds. But while we are finalizing the rule, we're using our existing authority to accommodate requests for commercial operations. To date, we've approved about 2,200 exemptions that allow unmanned aircraft to be used for such things as power line inspections and agriculture. And through our program that we call Pathfinder, we're working with industry to determine how to safely expand unmanned aircraft operation beyond the parameters of our proposed rule. Education is also extremely important. We at the agency and our partners continue to conduct outreach campaigns through a program we call Know Before You Fly. We've been working with manufacturers, we've been working with users to help educate new unmanned aircraft operators about what the rules of the sky are. And we've also had a number of no drone zone campaigns, the first of which we launched during last year's Super Bowl, and the most recent of which was the recent visit of Pope Francis. Yes, indeed, we did declare the Pope to be a no drone zone. And we had an interesting conversation with the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, which was hosting the Pope and also happens to own a drone with a GoPro camera attached to it. We've partnered with the San Francisco 49ers football team, and they produced a public service announcement that runs on the team's scoreboard during home games. And we're also testing a new smartphone app, Before You Fly, which allows UAS operators to conveniently compare their location in relation to airspace. You turn on your phone, bring up the app, and it tells you what the restrictions are, exactly where you're standing for operating an unmanned aircraft. But we do realize that education and outreach are, while they're an important tool, they're not always the only tool and the most effective tool. Enforcement is always an option. Last month, we proposed a $1.9 million civil penalty against a company that knowingly conducted dozens of unauthorized flights over the cities of Chicago and New York, despite being repeatedly warned that that was not something that was allowed. And so the message is clear: operate within the law or we'll take enforcement action. We're not interested in stifling innovation, but we're never going to compromise on safety. Working together with all interests, we're confident that we can find a balance that we can balance both innovation with safety and ensure that our airspace always stays safe.
Aero-TV is brought to you by
Now certified Aspen Avionics single-band ADS-B ATX-100 and ATX-100G transceivers are the next-gen ADS-B solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.